Hitting in the ninth. Good all.
I thought you were best at sitting.
That's right. Guess I gotta save you.
Don't stay out in the sun too long.
Bring out your best.
Your best deserves the best.
Bud Light?
The less filling light beer with a first name and taste.
Tough day.
Bud Light.
When you rent one-way from most car rental companies, there are strings attached, like the drop-off charge at the end of the line. The one you pay to help get their car back. At National, there are no strings or mileage charges because we have a whole fleet of cars available for one-way rentals, and they're just $10 a day more than our regular low daily rates. So the choice is yours. Rent one way or the other. National Car Rental, the way to go one way.
Ollie, if you don't hurry, I'll miss my plane.
Well, I'm doing the best I can in this terrible rain.
Would a new set of Vanco wiper blades help?
Certainly. Put them on.
Change to Anco. They clean better than any other blade. Test prove it.
There, now I can see an airplane.
Airplane! Oh! Don't worry, Ollie. It wasn't mine. That's mine.
Anco, the best blades you can buy. Test prove it.
For the boys of summer, autumn is near. The end of a season for most. An end to the dream for some. But for those few who remain, they will know the passion, the electricity of the World Series on NBC.
26-14 at halftime, the Dolphins. And 2 more touchdown passes for Marino. That's up to 14 on the year. Let's go now to NFL 84.
Back here at halftime and time for another installment of the AFL Remembered. Remember the old New York Titans? 25 years ago, they and 7 other teams got together to form the American Football League. And like most of their brethren, the Titans went through some tough times. That is, until they became the Jets and signed a brash young quarterback out of Alabama.
We needed to succeed in New York City, and we had a team that was really kind of the laughing stock of football, small crowds, and weren't able to sign draft choices, couldn't pay their bills.
Harry Wisner, God bless the guy, he spent all his money that he had, and then some, in putting that team on the field, and then he had about, I think, went through about $1.5 million in those first 2 years, and that was everything he had that he put into it.
Unable to meet his payroll, the AFL takes over the Titans and places it in the hands of impresario Sonny Werblin, who will change his name and image and secure its future. In 1965, Werblin will rest the Jet fortunes in the hands of a country boy quarterback from the University of Alabama. Joe Namath will come to New York to sign a $400,000 contract to play for the Jets.
Joe gave the league credence with the other players. His personality was such that he became the personality of New York, and he therefore achieved the headlines. His ability was such that he caught the fancy of the fans, and he was the motherlode of the league. He's something that everybody hopes for.
Although the AFL welcomes Joe's off-the-field headlines, it will be his skills on the field that will earn him the respect and admiration of his peers.
To stand behind Joe Namath and watch his head work, it went from side to side as quick as anything that you ever saw. It just panoramed that field and picked somebody out, and just with the quickness of such rapid speed of delivering the ball was absolutely amazing. I have always said about Joe Namath that he is the best that I have ever seen.
But with Joe's strong arm comes weak knees. Namath will undergo 4 knee operations during his career in New York.
He'd play when he's hurt all the time. I've seen many people who wouldn't even dress with the knees that he had, but Joe would play. If Joe could get out of bed, he was going to play.
In his first year, Namath will earn Rookie of the Year honors as he will throw for nearly 2,500 yards and 18 touchdown passes. In 1967, Joe will establish a pro football record as he will throw for more than 4,000 yards in one season. But it is a prediction he makes at Super Bowl III against the Colts that will make him a legend.
It wasn't bragging. It was just standing up for our team. You know, a lot of people were being misinformed by the media, you might say. When I said I guarantee, I meant it. I mean, it was my heart. It was the way I felt about our football team.
Joe Namath will make his prediction stick as he engineers the biggest upset in AFL history.
Joe Namath did for us, by us, I'm talking about the other people in the American Football League, something that we had worked long and hard to get. We got recognition, and I think we got respect.
We accept the accolades, hopefully with good grace, and when you get the heat on you, you better be able to handle that too, because sometimes you get more heat than you deserve.
And I'm sure you recognize Don Maynard, another one of the all-time AFL greats, number 13, on the receiving end of many of those Joe Namath passes. NFL 84 halftime activities will continue following these messages.
Tonight, this is it, the 2-hour movie premiere of Knight Rider that shows all of Kit's new superpowers.
All right, pal.
It's all new adventures as Kit and Michael dodge deadly drones, dangerous doubles, beautiful villains.
I can't look.
I want him killed.
It's the all-new 2-hour premiere.
That's all we need.
Of Knight Rider, tonight.
Your Carolina Ford dealer's second annual Ford Truck Week is off and running with great savings. This tough full-size Explorer comes with auxiliary fuel tank, sport wheel covers, AM/FM radio, and more, including free air conditioning. And this Ranger S is now priced at just $59.93. Special dealer cash incentives on all Rangers can be passed on to you. Yes, your tough pickup is waiting for you now during Ford Truck Week. See your local Carolina Ford dealer today and save hundreds.
Now, how in the world could anybody vote against Meals on Wheels for the senior citizens and the elderly? And to our elderly people, I'm going to promise to do everything I can to see that the programs that feed our elderly people are not cut out.
Jim Martin voted against full funding for Meals on Wheels for the elderly. The National Council of Senior Citizens gave him a lifetime rating of only 9 of 100. When you know the facts, Rufus Edmiston.
Hi, I'm Bob Eubanks. You never know what those unpredictable newlyweds will say next. So you predicted you'd say you'd name your son Yakamoto. They look like 2 hockey sticks.
She don't see my legs no more.
It's the Newlywed Game.
Count on 12 for the Newlywed Game, weekdays at 4.
Count on TV 12 for Essence, tonight at 11:30.
And welcome back to our studios in New York. Let's get you updated on what's happening around the National Football League in the games some of you are watching. Miami brings their 4-0 record into St. Louis, where the Cardinals are 2-2, and it's Miami by 12 at halftime. There's Jim Hannafin, the St. Louis coach, on the sidelines. He watched Miami grab a 12-0 lead before his team could get on the scoreboard. It was 3-0 at this point when Dan Marino hit Mark Duper with a 49-yarder over cornerback Wayne Smith, led to a second Von Schaman field goal and a 6-0 lead. Now Marino with touchdown pass number 13 on the year, 26-yarder, nice catch by tight end Joe Rose. The point after was blocked. After an exchange of touchdowns with the score 19-7, it's Neil Lomax of St. Louis to his tight end Doug Marsh. That play good for 22 yards and a TD, cut the lead to 19-14, but Marino came back, hit Mark Clayton from 29 yards out to make it 26-14 at halftime. 14 touchdown passes on the year for Marino. That, of course, leads the NFL, and he's thrown for better than 300 yards in that first half at St. Louis. New England and the Jets at the Meadowlands, tied at 14 at halftime. New England is 2-2. The Jets are 3-1. There's Ken O'Brien, who expected to start this year, but it's Pat Ryan at the helm for the Jets, and he goes to his favorite receiver, Wesley Walker, for a 12-yard touchdown pass and a 7-0 New York lead. Tony Eason of the Patriots comes back to tie it on this lob to tight end Lynn Dawson. It was 7-7. Later on, each team scored again. Tony Page from 2 yards out for the Jet touchdown that followed this catch and run by Bruce Harper, which covered 28 yards to set up the Tony Page TD. Eason came back with a 5-yard quarterback run for a touchdown of his own to tie it up at 14 all at halftime in the Meadowlands, the Patriots and the Jets. They've moved to the third quarter at Soldier Field in Chicago. Dallas leads the Bears 17-14. Both those clubs are 3-1. What a first half for Walter Payton. He is hot on the trail of Jimmy Brown. A 20-yard touchdown run, part of his 20-carry, 130-yard first half, the 58th 100-yard game of his career. That ties Jim Brown for the record in that department, and he needs just 92 yards, Bill McAtee, to break the all-time career rushing record. He might get it today the way he's going.
An awful lot of offense at Soldier Field. Conversely, a different story at Arrowhead Stadium, Cleveland and Kansas City. It has been all defense. Matt Barr has kicked a 34-yard field goal, a 41-yarder by Nick Lowry. That has been the scoring, as the Browns have now not allowed a touchdown in 8 quarters. They're at the half. Up in the Metrodome, Seattle leads Minnesota 10-6. Chuck Knox watched the Seahawks turn in a good defensive performance last week against the Bears. They're not giving up much ground again today. Only touchdown of the game so far came in the first quarter. Dave Craig, a 20-yarder to Steve Largent. Norm Johnson kicked a 41-yard field goal just before the half. Jan Stenerud's 2 field goals have accounted for the Vikings scoring 10-6 Seattle at the half. Buffalo and Indianapolis, a game some of you are watching. Joe Ferguson injured his ankle late in the game last week against the Jets. So for the first time since 1975, someone other than number 12 is starting at quarterback. Indianapolis scored first. Mike Pagel, a 7-yard touchdown pass as he hangs in the pocket well. The Ray Butler 7-0 Colts. But Buffalo came back in the second quarter. Touchdown set up by this pass. Dufik, a 54-yarder to Byron Franklin. Dufik then scored from the 11. He is 8 of 13, 123 yards. Colts added a field goal, though, late in the first half. So it's 10-10 at the Hoosier Dome. Bob?
All right, Bill, thank you very much. Stay with us now as NFL 84 halftime activities will continue following these messages and a word from your local stations.
Turbo Z. It is an American revolution.
There are lots of ways to communicate over long distances, but with some, you may not be able to reach everywhere you want, anytime you want. And a faraway message may feel far away. But you can always count on AT&T, the only long-distance service that lets you call from anywhere to anywhere with operators standing by. And with AT&T, your calls will sound as close as next door. So why settle for anything less? AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
Reach out and touch someone.
The insulation is ready, and the time is now. It's all up to you to beat those high home heating and air conditioning costs. So get rolling. Add an extra layer of Owens Corning Pink Attic Blanket Insulation and score energy savings. If you act now, you'll get a free warm-up jacket with the emblem of your favorite NFL team. A great offer, only from Owens Corning.
Monday, The Tonight Show's 22nd anniversary special with the funniest moments from Johnny's 22 years in late night. If you don't see it,
nobody will ever love you.
Monday.
It's bargain time at Roger West Chevrolet. Over 200 new and used cars and trucks at 84 closeout prices while they last. Closeout prices on big cars, up to $1,700 off on Impalas and Caprices. Chevettes are priced from just $49.95. Closeout prices on Citations, even popular Cavaliers. If Chevrolet makes it, Roger West has it closeout price. Plus, you beat the 85 price increase. That could save you over $1,000. Unless the Roger West emblem is on your closeout 84, you probably paid too much.
Harvey Bennett on News Center 12.
The Dolphins have had a very big first half and have the lead over the Cardinals here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And Bob Greasy, certainly Marino's had a marvelous first half. We talked about the keys to this game at the start. You said it was going to be that offensive line of Miami having to protect Marino.
For the Dolphins, it was the offensive line, and they have done it. The Cardinals have not sacked him, I don't believe. He's gotten rid of the football, and Cleveland Green, filling in for Eric Laxell, has done very well. On the other side, St. Louis has really won on first down most of the time. It's just that Marino, when he gets out there, they're just scoring points. Now, the Cardinals can score some points, so the game is not over. They're number 5 in the entire National Football League in scoring, so it should be an exciting second half.
Well, up to now, for Marino, it has been those headlines that you talked about, Bob, in your quarterback quote.
We said it was going to be It's going to be sack time or headlines, and so far it's going to be headlines.
Set to receive for the Cardinals, Willard Harrell and Steve Bird, as Von Schaman will put it in play as we go to the second half. 26-14, the Dolphins have the lead. The Dolphins getting a big touchdown, a 29-yarder in the final minute when Marino hit Clayton. And now we're set to go. Over Von Schaman. Bird coming up at the 5, at the 15, to the 20. Penalty marker goes down as Bird gets it across the 25. At the 26-yard line, he's hit by number 50, Jackie Shipp, reserve linebacker. And we'll have to see what the penalty situation is. Referee Pat Haggerty. Well, illegal contact, that push in the back. It seems like we can't get through a game without a couple of those.
You certainly do see a lot of them, Jay, and it's take a look at the stats for the first half.
Illegal contact, number 46 on the return, first down.
The thing that really jumps out at you is the yards passing, 318 to 148. Lomax 148 normally is a good half, but with Marino's 318, no turnovers, and time of possession is actually in the side of the Cardinals. They wanted to do that, control the ball and keep it away from Marino, but they're striking too fast for him.
On first down, this throw is complete. Doug Marsh, the tight end. Marsh, who caught a touchdown pass in the first half, picks up 15. Glenn Blackwood, number 47, made the play. There's the first down situation today. The Dolphins averaging 7.8, the Cardinals 8.6.
we said the Cardinals' key factor was win on first down. They are, and in fact, they're even beating the Dolphins, but the Dolphins are getting them on second and third.
And the Dolphins have gotten some big plays, of course, from Duper and Clayton. Here's Green going in motion, back the other way. Over the middle, complete at the 37-yard line to Doug Marsh again. And Glenn Blackwood again on the tackle. Walter Payton now needs just 75 yards to set a new rushing record in the National Football League. He has 147 yards today.
Tootie Robbins, good protection on Betters. Doug Betters.
5 at the 37.
Good play on first down. Jay, little pass, looks downfield, his coverage. You have an outlet receiver, second down and 5.
Pat Tilley was shaken up a little bit in the first half, but he's back in the lineup. He's set to the near sideline. Green goes in motion on second down. And no flag. Roy Green, the intended receiver at the 40-yard line. Paul Langford, 44, in the nickel, had the coverage, and he went down on the play. Some of the faithful here thought maybe there should have been an interference call.
Take a look at it here. The good protection, man-to-man coverage in the secondary at the top of your screen. Tight coverage. I don't know, Jay Bird. Pretty close.
Pretty close is right. You got that. Third down. Lomax now operates from the shotgun. And over the middle, complete to Green. Green a first down and more. Green run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. 18 yards on the play. Lyle Blackwood, number 42, ran Green out of bounds. He can move.
Here's Roy Green right here. Now he's going to come inside this way. This receiver is going to go out the other way. It causes a problem with the confusion, crisscross, and then Green's going to come back to the outside and just catch a short little safe pass to see the two receivers crossing. He stops. The defensive back thinks he's going to continue on. Then he goes back the other way. It's a tough coverage for the defensive secondary and a good play for Green.
First down at the 45. Here comes Tilley in motion to the near side. And they give it on a little delay to Stump Mitchell. And Stump is down to the 41-yard line. Glenn Blackwood, the strong safety, number 47, coming up along with McNeil, 29, and Brophy, 53, to make the play.
Jay, we were talking to Floyd Peters yesterday, and we were talking about something similar to that little pass we saw Green just catch. Coming out, running halfway, stopping, going back the other way. He says back when he played, and guys like Butkus, Dick Butkus, the big linebacker, says, when that man came down there, you jam him, and you knock him off his feet. Now that once he gets past 5 yards, you can't touch him. So they can go down, they can juke to the right and the left, and you can't get them.
The game has changed a bit. Fine defensive play. Right at the last second on the far sideline, Judson, number 49, got in front of Roy Green. Judson, who played at South Carolina State in his 3rd season.
Good protection, Brzezinski, 59. Lomax steps up into the pocket. Couldn't throw the ball any better. Just good coverage by Judson. Ball jumped up into the air. Shula says that Judson and Langford are 2 of the best players, almost made that reception. 2 of the best athletes on the Dolphins squad.
Ball at the 41-yard line. Lomax is 2 for 4 out of the shotgun and 31 yards. And he had a man. That ball might have been batted. It was intended for Willard Harrell, and he was all alone, but the ball seemed to be deflected. Lomax going down.
Jay, I think this is the first time today the Dolphins have blitzed. The 2 linebackers here will blitz the quarterback. Harrell will be right in here in the middle. Let's take a look and see if it gets batted. But obviously, man-to-man coverage in the secondary. Nobody in the middle of the field. Had to throw it a little bit before he wanted to. Could have been an easy touchdown. A little bit rushed because of the blitz. Causes the incompletion.
Birdsong's 4th punt of the afternoon.
Is he going to punt it?
Yes, sir. Angle to the far sideline. Fair catch is called for. It's gathered in at the 16-yard line by Lyle Blackwood. Timeout. Dolphins lead it 26-14.
It starts with a subtle glance. The enticement of discovering something wondrously new. The Dodge Aries K. Sleek, new styling that will captivate you. Performance that will infatuate you. You always knew Aries for economy. Now you'll love it for its beauty. And now you'll know how it feels to be seduced by Dodge Aries.
I like to save the big surprise for last. And turn?
NCR is making a personal computer.
Uh-huh.
Sharp graphics.
Surprise?
I'll take it.
Oh, can't you look surprised?
I said I'll take it.
I know you'll take it. I just wanted you to be surprised.
But I know NCR. They practically computerized the banking business. Look, I'm writing a check.
Oh, money isn't everything. Nobody's ever surprised.
Well, maybe if you didn't tell people who made it.
A better computer. It's exactly what you'd expect from NCR.
Today's game is brought to you by Ram Tough Trucks and revolutionary new cars. Dodge, an American revolution. By AT&T, the more you hear, the better we sound. And by Owens Corning, our building products put your house in the pink.
The Dolphins start from the 17. Marino with Nathan and Bennett in the backfield, and this is Nathan at the 20, 25, out to the 29-yard line. Benny Perrin, number 23, ran him out of bounds. A 12-yard pickup for Nathan. The longest run of his career was right here in St. Louis, a 46-yard romp back in September of 1981.
We'll take a look. 61 is Roy Foster leading the way around the end. Gets a good block. Nathan cuts inside, heads up field. Foster's doing a good job, Jay, for replacing the injured Bob Kuchenberg, the All-Pro, the many times All-Pro, but Foster's playing very well.
First USC player to ever play for the Dolphins. A little delay to Nathan. Nathan across the 35 to the 37-yard line. E.J. Jr. made the tackle for the Cardinals. We'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WXII, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point.
With Bob Greasy, Jay Randolph, Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Dolphins 26, Cardinals 14. Top 3 passing games in National Football League history. Van Brocklin 554 versus the old New York Yankees in 51. Ferragamo 509 against Chicago, and Tittle 505 against Washington in 62. That's Mark Clayton. Clayton down the sideline doing a tightrope act, stepped out of bounds. Clayton did not play last week. Looked like he wanted to throw the halfback pass. Instead, he picks up 15.
Had a groin injury last week. Probably could have played, but like O.J. Anderson this week is sitting out. Takes a reverse. Now, last year, he threw a pass. He stops. It doesn't appear as though, as Duper, who we see at the bottom of the screen, was alerted to the fact that he may throw the football, because Duper was down there blocking, and Clayton pulled up as if to pass. I'm sure they'll have a conversation about that a little later on.
Coach Shula seems a little upset at the moment.
He's kind of smiling when he was talking to Clayton.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line. Jensen goes in motion. The handoff coming the other way to Carter, and Carter gets across the 45 down to the 44-yard line. Kurt Ollerman, number 51, making the play. Dolphins doing a little bit more running. We talked about those top 3 passing games. The Miami record is 408 for Woodley versus Dallas in 81. But, of course, we've got a long time to play, and Marino has an excellent chance to set a new passing record here this afternoon for Miami.
He certainly does, and it seems like they're getting back into the running game, but that doesn't mean anything. They can throw it at any time.
Second down and 6. Hardy going in motion, the tight end, and Marino throwing and completing. High into the air to make the catch was Mark Clayton, 19 yards on the pickup. Perrin along with Smith making the tackle. That puts Marino over his best day.
You see Marino walking forward to say something. He throws this ball very high. Clayton, with his tremendous leaping ability, look at him leap in the air and catch the football. Shula was saying that he's changed his outlook. He used to like the big wide receivers. Now he says, I like the small ones, with the ones with speed and a lot of quickness.
Pretty good find on the 8th round, wasn't he? That's Woody Bennett getting to the 20-yard line. E.J. Jr. made the tackle.
You know, getting back to what I was talking about, Jay, with the small receivers, Shula was saying he used to like the big ones, but now the game has changed so much. The defensive secondary, you have to have smaller, quicker receivers to beat the jam at the line of scrimmage, get away from it, and get downfield. He wants people that can get with the speed, get in the open areas, and then catch the football. And that's one thing that's made him such a successful coach, is he changes with the times. He sees what's there and goes with it.
San Diego has had great success with those fast, small receivers.
Sure have.
Hand off to Bennett. Bennett gets a couple. Bennett hit by number 44 on the play, Wayne Smith. Talked a little bit earlier about the grabbing and holding that goes on down there in the trenches, Robert.
74, Cleveland Green, blocking on Bubba Baker. A little grabbing going on, looks like. Not bad. You know, that goes on all the time, Jay. They just call the bad stuff.
Yeah. New England is leading the Jets 21-14. Eason has thrown a 4-yard touchdown pass to Bo Robinson. Seattle over Minnesota 10-9 third quarter. Got Clayton, Cephalo, and Duper all in the lineup there. On third down, it's dropped. Oh, at the 7-yard line. Now a penalty marker goes down. Clayton dropped one he should have caught.
He certainly should have, Jay. It was a good route. He was wide open. Should have caught the football, and they're going to call a roughing penalty, I believe, against the Cardinals.
That's the call. And Jim Hannafin, the head man of the Big Red, upset. Hannafin, who began coaching at Little Charter Oak High School in Covina, California back in 1959. The call may go against Leonard Smith, number 45. We'll wait till they unravel it here as referee Pat Haggerty will give us the word. number 45, called for the infraction.
Just a little frustrated. Up here, we'll see Clayton. This man is going to go down, and the back is going to come out and clear. Clayton is going to come right in here in the middle, and we'll see 45 come in and hit him a little bit late. Wide open over the middle. He drops the ball. It's frustration, I think. The fact that he's been tough coverage all day, just get a little bit frustrated.
Hand off to Nathan. Nathan gets about 2 yards near the 7. Nathan, who played at Alabama, came out of Birmingham's Woodlawn High School. E.J. Jr. with the stop, number 54.
Let's take a look at the end of it. I think he hit him with his forearm, Jay, up around the head and shoulders, and they're trying to cut back on some of the serious injuries around the neck and head injury, and I think if it wasn't with a forearm, they may not have called it.
Second down, goal to go. Marino, all kinds of time now. His coverage breaks down, and he goes down. The Cardinals' first sack of the day. Elo Grooms, number 78, was there. Number 76, Stafford Mays. That is the first sack of the year against the Dolphins.
That tells you a little bit about, looks like Marino may be injured. Tells you a little bit about the offensive protection for the Dolphins. The first sack of 1984. The coverage is good in the secondary. His left knee gets bent down underneath him.
Stafford Mays, the 9-year, or the 5-year man from the University of Washington, was there first. There's the relief pitcher, Don Strock. Fine backup, and here he comes.
If we can get a shot of Marino, he wears a brace on one of his knees. I don't know.
It's the right one.
I think it's the left. I think it's the left knee he has the brace on. Yeah, you can see on the left knee he wears a brace. He got his knee caught underneath him when he was sacked. He doesn't appear to be that seriously injured. Talking to him earlier in the week, he says he wears it just for prevention. And obviously that may have saved a serious injury right there.
Don Strock, 11-year veteran. 72, he led the nation at Virginia Tech. Third down, goal to go. There's the throw, and he had his man, Jimmy Cephalo, open, but couldn't get it there.
That's a tough situation for a relief pitcher. In baseball, Jay, they give him a few throws to warm up. Strock only had about 2 or 3, and it takes a little bit longer. The bottom of your screen, the outside man goes in, and the inside man breaks to the outside. Just didn't get to the ball, but I'm sure that Strock would like to have had a few more pitches on the sideline before he came in and threw that one.
35-yard field goal attempt for Von Schaman, who is 2 for 2 today. 27 and 26 yarders in the first half. High pass blocked. Cardinals come up with it. So Von Schaman had a problem that time. The ball was batted by Leonard Smith, I believe, but the real problem started on the high pass from center.
Exactly, Jay, and I think this has really been part of the problem that Von Schaman has had this year. Bob Kuchenberg is not in the lineup. As we see, the high snap, it was blocked from the side. The man come, but Kuchenberg was one of the best snappers in the National Football League for 5 or 6 years that he snapped. He's not snapping, and Von Schaman, I think, mentally is having a problem with that. We'll be right back.
It isn't easy keeping in shape, but Don Gwaltney isn't doing this just for his health. He's doing it for money. The money he's saving on his life insurance with an Allstate Shape Up and Save discount. We figure if you're in better shape, you deserve a better rate on your insurance. So if you keep yourself in shape, you could save up to 35% on Allstate life insurance.
Shape up and save.
It pays to talk to an Allstate agent.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
It takes a full season for a fragile blossom to slowly become a ripe red apple. Nature can't be hurried. Old style can't be hurried either, because old style is fully kreuzened, the most natural way to brew beer and the most expensive. It's naturally carbonated with no modern shortcuts, just nature and time and skill. Try Harleman's Old Style and taste the difference kreuzening makes.
To show you this block, high pass.
45, Leonard Thompson right there. The timing on the extra point and field goals are so important. Leonard Smith coming around and getting just a piece of it. The high snap just enough to allow him to get around.
There's a score by quarters. That block might help the Cardinals from a standpoint of momentum. Here's Lomax over the middle. It's complete. Roy Green. They've had a lot of success with that little pass over the middle here in the second half. Mark Brown, 51, the inside linebacker, made the tackle. New England 21-14 over the Jets. They're in the third period. Dallas has a 6-point lead over Chicago as Septien has kicked a 32-yard field goal. Cleveland and Kansas City are 3-3 on field goals by Barr and Lowry. Seattle leads Minnesota 10-9, 17-0 Buffalo, or 17-10 Buffalo over Indianapolis. Stump Mitchell tries to get outside, and the Dolphins do a good job of containing him there. Baumhauer, 73, making the stop. The word we get on the Dolphins quarterback Dan Marino is that he just had a little leg cramp, back of his leg, and we expect him to return to action. We have 5:17 left to play. We're in the third quarter. The Dolphins lead at 26-14. Marino out of the University of Pittsburgh. Big, strong young man with a great arm. Quick release. 3rd and 1 for the Cardinals. They operate at their own 26-yard line. Double tight end alignment. Marsh and LaFleur. Stump Mitchell in trouble, and he gets away, and look at the effort. Got the first down. An excellent, excellent play for Mitchell. You know, some people would call that second effort. I call that continuous effort.
That was an outstanding run. You know, they won't see this one in the highlight film, but this was as good a run as he's made all day. He, by all rights, should have been tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Bowser bouncing off of him, getting upfield. Half the team missed him. Big play for the Cardinals.
Mitchell with 87 yards on 18 carries and a touchdown. Farrell and Mitchell in the backfield, and the pass comes out to Mitchell, and he takes it at the 35-yard line. Hit immediately by McNeil and Brown. Clock running with 4.5 minutes to play in the third period.
We've seen Stump Mitchell the last few times, Jay. They better call another play, somebody else's number, to give him a little bit of a breather. The plays are sent in from the sideline.
He's coming out, gets a fine hand from the partisan crowd here, and Willard Harrell replaces him.
When you're calling plays, you need to spread it around. If one of them's getting winded, give it to somebody else.
2nd down and 5 from the 35. The handoff goes to Farrell. Farrell gets out to the 37-yard line, short of the first down. Mike Charles, number 71, wrapped him up. We've had a scoreless third period up to now with 3:45 to play. Our director today, Andy Rosenberg, and our producer, David Neal, and the crew bringing you the sights and sounds of this interconference game from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are. Lomax 15 out of 26. Prevent defense now for the Dolphins. Out of the shotgun, Lomax on 3rd down, throws complete to Tilley. Tilley at the 50, at the 45, spins, waits for a block, goes down. His blocker went right by him. He picked up a block, but the blocker never hit anybody. A 20-yard pickup. McNeil on the tackle as Tilley got that football, and he was looking for daylight.
I don't know if he was waiting for a block or waiting for somebody to tackle him, Jay. There you see Tilley at the right. Good throw. Little in and back out. Good traction. Tilley, quick feet.
Now watch here. See, Somebody's going to come right by.
Whoa, I don't want to go there.
There he goes, number 57, but Pat couldn't catch up with him at that point. Tilley, 3 catches for 45 yards. Cardinals on the move, 1st and 10 at the 42 of the Dolphins. Lomax out to Mitchell. Mitchell hit just as the ball came to him. And the fans thought there might have been an interference call against Jay Brophy, the linebacker, 53, but it looked like he played it tough to me.
Well, they want a reciprocal call because of the roughing a little earlier. They thought that might have been roughing on Brophy, but Brophy's an interesting story. 2nd-round draft choice this year for the Dolphins, playing in place of A.J. Dewey. 2nd choice, they really felt like Jackie Shipp, their number 1 choice, would be somebody that could fill in, but Shipp is a little bit slow in learning the pass defense. Brophy has picked it up very well.
New England leading the Jets in the 3rd quarter. Of course, Bob, you can't have pass interference behind the line of scrimmage, can you?
No, you can't. Good point.
2nd down and 10. Lomax steps up, throws on the run. It's complete. That's Doug Marsh. Marsh already has 1 touchdown, and he's got a 1st down at the 18-yard line. 25-yard pickup. Glenn Blackwood, 47, and William Judson, 49, made the play. Marsh has had an excellent football game here this afternoon.
Excellent protection. Watch Lomax step up into the pocket, away from the defensive ends. Marsh catches it in his hands. I'm impressed with this Cardinal offense, Jay. They can move it on the ground. They can throw it through the air.
It's an improving football team for Jim Hannafin. Marsh with 5 catches, 96 yards.
He only had 9 catches coming into the ballgame.
Mitchell back in the lineup with Farrell in the backfield. 1st down at the 17. Hand off to Earl Farrell. And Farrell fights for yardage near the 10-yard line. Farrell out of East Tennessee State, a fine athlete. Number 5 draft choice back in '82. Mike Charles, 71 on the tackle.
Let's show you something you don't normally see. Here's Glenn Blackwood, the strong safety. The Dolphins say, if you're going to move it on us, we're going to start strong safety blitz you. Evidently, the pass wasn't a pass, went the other way, but there you see Blackwood, something the Dolphins are trying to do to stop the offensive march down the field. They send their strong safety in there.
Art Plunkett, number 70, is now at right tackle for the Cardinals. Tootie Robbins has a pinched nerve. It's hoped that he'll be able to return. Tilley is out of there. The other tight end, LaFleur, is in there. And up the middle and going for the touchdown is Earl Farrell. Earl Farrell gets his 2nd touchdown of the '84 season. An 11-yard romp off the left side.
We'll take a look at it. Earl Farrell is right here. Everybody's worried about Stump Mitchell. This man, he'll just go out of the way. He's going to come right up the middle. Watch the blocking as the offensive line of the Cardinals straight ahead blocking. Farrell cuts back to his left. Good running, tough running. Very impressive, Jay.
Neil O'Donoghue with the point after. And O'Donoghue boots it through out of the hold of Benny Perrin. We're going to show it to you again as Farrell found a hole and he darted through.
Just straight blocking. Farrell, when he gets near that goal line, he says, I'm going to score. We'll be right back.
When Lotus introduced 1-2-3 software, it became the talk of the business world. And 1-2-3 quickly took its rightful place at the top of the PC software sales charts. But people said,
Lotus, what are you doing for an encore?
Lotus announces Symphony. 1-2-3 and new Symphony software from Lotus. One great idea after another.
All truck companies talk tough, but only one puts its money where its mouth is. Dodge. Because only Dodge gives you a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty on engine, powertrain, and outer body rust-through. It covers new 85 full-size pickups, wagons, vans, and Ram Chargers, making Dodge the best back trucks in America. That's guaranteed.
The fans here have come alive as the Cardinals have scored. much in this game, 26-21.
Big play, drive that time, 83 yards, 10 plays. The Cardinals defense stopped the Dolphins. Marino was injured. They went for the field goal. The field goal was blocked. They took it right down and scored. The momentum is on the side of the Cardinals. The fans are into it.
Aarons kicks off. And back at the 5-yard line, Fulton Walker. Walker across the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Dolphins will put it in play there. We'll come back to Busch Stadium. Pick up this action with the Dolphins leading 26-21 in just a moment.
Dodge announces the toughest truck warranty in America. 5 years or 50,000 miles. Covering transmissions, drive shafts, blocks, heads, flywheels, transfer cases, axles, U-joints, water pumps, all internal engine parts, and outer body rust on every truck we build. Ford and Chevy talk tough. Dodge proves it. Dodge, best back trucks in America. That's guaranteed.
Radio Shack's having a great sale on the TRS-80 Model 4. $400 below the original price. It has a huge library of educational programs.
And lots of games. I do my personal and household budgeting on it. You can't believe the money we're saving.
I'm even teaching myself to program. And the Model 4 is expandable at Radio Shack's low prices. Best of all, it's on sale now.
Save $400 on Radio Shack's TRS-80 Model 4. Now only $5.99.
On October 14th, the epic of V continues with the final battle. And then the countdown begins for the thrilling premiere of V, the series.
The touchdown by Earl Farrell has turned this crowd of 45,000 on here. Marino is back in for the Dolphins, who start from their own 24. Half a minute to play, third quarter. 26-21 Miami. Marino completes it out to the 42-yard line to Mark Duper. An 18-yard pickup on the play. Leonard Smith, 45 on the tackle. Marino limping a little bit.
Jay, he's had some problems with that knee. He had that knee operated on. He had it hurt late in the year last year. Had it operated on in early January. Missed the Pro Bowl. It was the first rookie ever selected to start the Pro Bowl. The third quarter is going to run out, but he is having some problems with that knee.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter. The score, Dolphins 26, Cardinals 21. Back after this from your local station.
Tonight, this is it, the 2-hour movie premiere of Knight Rider that shows all of Kit's new superpowers.
All right, pal.
It's all new adventures as Kit and Michael dodge deadly drones, dangerous doubles, and beautiful villains.
I can't look.
I want him killed.
It's the all-new 2-hour premiere
That's all we need.
of Knight Rider tonight.
It's Truck Deals Olay at your Datsun dealer. Get clearance deals on Nissan 4x4. How far will we go? All the way to Mexico. Register to win a free trip for 2 on American Airlines to fabulous Sheraton hotels in Mexico. Come on in before October 2nd. Get a major 4x4 deal, plus the chance to win Mexico from American and Sheraton. It's worth the trip.
Major motion from Nissan.
Make your best deal now at your North Carolina area Datsun dealers.
Essence the magazine introduces Essence the television program. All new with regular features like Celebrity Spotlight, giving you insight into the people behind the glitter. Taking care of business, opening your eyes to new opportunities. Up front with Felipe Luciano, covering today's important issues. And hosted by Susan Taylor, editor-in-chief.
Nothing else can get inside your world like Essence the television program.
Count on TV 12 for Essence tonight at 11:30.
Jack LaFave on News Center 12.
Well, as you look at those stats, more bad news for the Cardinals. Thomas Howard out of the game with a sprained knee, will not return this afternoon. We go to the fourth period here with the Dolphins up by 5. First down at the 43-yard line. Jensen goes in motion. Marino throwing, completing it. Clayton, first down at the 41-yard line. E.J. O.J. Jr. on the tackle, a pickup of 16. And again, Clayton making a big play.
Jay, we said going in that the offensive line had to be blocking very well because of the pass rush. We'll take a look at the pass protection. Perfect protection. Marino has all kinds of time. Threads the throw in there to Clayton. Take a little look at the moves that he's trying to put on. Gets stuck a little bit. Goes down, but the protection has been great for Marino today.
Dave Aarons, who's been kicking off, has replaced Thomas Howard at the linebacker spot for the Cardinals. This is Carter. Joe Carter on the run, hit by Benny Perrin. Let's go to New York. An update from NFL 84.
All right, Jay, sounds like you got a good one going in St. Louis. At Giants Stadium, New England is starting to open it up against the Jets. Tony Easton has thrown his third touchdown pass today. This one of 43 yards to Stanley Morgan. 28-14 New England. The Jets starting to feel a little frustrated.
And here we certainly do have a good one going, Bill McAtee. The Dolphins facing second down and 6 from the 37. Marino over the middle, complete. Looks like they've got the first down at the 30-yard line. The pass to Tony Nathan, who took it right off the turf. Some of the folks saw it as a trap, maybe, Bob Greasy.
Well, it was a close call. We'll take a look, see if we can see anything, but Marino wants to throw the ball someplace else, but Nathan is in the seam between the defenders. Looks like he caught it, Jay, but the thing about it is the Dolphins second down, the Cardinals went ahead and substituted their nickel, 6 defensive backs in there. That's how much respect they have for the Dolphin passing game. Second down and 6, they went nickel.
Marino 378 yards, 19 out of 30. Throwing number 31 right here, and incomplete. Benny Perrin at the last second in front of Mark Clayton. Clayton looked like he was going to get another one as he went high into the air, but that man right there, Perrin, made the stop.
Marino says if he can catch it once, he can do it again. Here's a man we're watching. Clayton is going to come straight down the field, and the safety, Perrin, is going to be there. No way this ball should have been thrown, but he has such great confidence in him. Double coverage right there, in front and in back. There's no way Clayton comes up with this ball. Should have been intercepted.
At the 30-yard line, second down. Marino from the shotgun. Nathan back there with it. Blitz. The big guy gets away, throws complete. Mark Duper made the catch. He beat the blitz. Bob Harris, reserve linebacker, making the play.
Jay, we were talking yesterday to Jim Hannafin a little bit, the coach of the Cardinals, and he was talking about Marino. He said he's never seen anything like Marino come in and really do what he has done. And the thing he said that was so tough about him is you can't sack him. He'll get rid of the football. He knows how much time he has, and right there, he doesn't have a lot of mobility, but just enough to avoid the sack and get rid of it.
Third down and 3. Swings it out to Nathan. First down, down to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Miami. A happy Don Shula, 23-yard touchdown play as Marino whipped it out into the left flat beautifully to Tony Nathan.
This is going to be a quick screen to the left. Here's Nathan in the backfield. He's going to run over here and catch it, but what is happening, this man has to cover him. He has to go this way too. There's going to be some traffic coming over here. All these Dolphin receivers are going to come over there and make it a problem for him. A little quick screen, throws it out to the side. Easy throw, but a big play.
A point after Uwe von Schaman. It is good. Marino now is 21 of 33, 409 yards, 3 touchdown passes today. This one just a moment ago, 15 TD passes on the year.
This is good good pass against man-to-man coverage. They knew what the coverage would be. They said a quick screen with a little traffic would be ideal. We'll be right back. 33-21.
East Point, Maine and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. East Point means a New England clam bake, summer fun and food at its best. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
Old Milwaukee.
And Old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name.
You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
AT&T is in travel. How? By helping NASA exchange 56,000 bits of information in an instant. Just as we can help NASA send man beyond the Earth, we can help a travel agent send a man across the Earth. AT&T can help get instant information about hotels, rates, flights. We can tailor a long-distance data network big enough for NASA and one just right for you. The people of AT&T Communications. We're thinking about your business in ways you never thought of.
The most popular sport on earth. The pinnacle of international competition. A previously impossible dream for the soccer faithful of the United States. The first step towards the 1986 World Cup. Next Saturday on NBC Sports. Today's game is brought to you by Jeep Corporation. There's a feeling you can get only in a Jeep. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by Sears, where you'll find great values. There's more for your life at Sears.
There's Corey Leibel on top of Busch Stadium. Just 2 years ago, they were getting set for the playoffs in the World Series here. And, of course, the World Series coming up again on NBC starting October 9th. Who'll be there? NBC will be there.
I'll be there.
All right.
I'll be there watching.
Yes, sir. So will I. Uwe von Schamann kicks it off. Bird at the goal line. Steve Bird at the 15. At the 20. Gets it out to the 24-yard line. And the Cardinals will start from there. 11.5 to play. 33-21. We'll be back with more of this interconference action in just a few moments.
You've got the spirit. You keep on coming through. Your pride is strong. You won't just make it do. With every job you leave a little bit of you.
We started with an idea, a promise, a commitment to American farming and trucking we've been building for over 150 years, and now we're honoring it in more ways than ever before. International Harvester. The commitment is forever.
Shotgun Rapids, Idaho, and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. The shotgun means white water at its best. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp, Old Milwaukee beer. And smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
And Old Milwaukee.
And Old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name.
You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Tony Eason has thrown to Stanley Morgan. It was a 43-yarder, 28-14 New England. Dallas leading Chicago in the third period. Cleveland goes on top of Kansas City as Matt Barr hits from 23 out. 32-yard field goal Johnson, 13-9 Seattle. Buffalo and Indianapolis tied up at 17 in the fourth quarter. Lomax going to the air. Throws over the middle to Tilley. Tilley at the 35. Trying to get back outside. Gets the 37. Fumble. Picked up by one of the Dolphins. And Miami has the football at the 33-yard line. Well, Tilley trying to do a little too much, maybe. Lost the football. It's the first turnover of this game. And a big one. Don McNeil, number 28, over there to make the play.
Tough break for the Cardinals, and Tilley at the bottom of your screen comes across the field. A lot of teams are doing this. The Dolphins have run the same pattern, makes a good move, and then tries to get upfield. Judson pulls him, but Neil picks it up. Neil had a touchdown last week against the Colts.
Well, a very disappointed Jim Hannafin. Hannafin, who coached fellows like Dobler and Deerdorf and Banks and Young here. Going out of the lineup now, number 64, Randy Clark, the center of the Cardinals, who played at Northern Illinois. A free agent who was originally drafted by the Bears. And you see Lomax helping him off there.
These quarterbacks take care of their centers, don't they?
There's John Omohundro, the Cardinals' fine trainer. Well, the turnover gives the Dolphins a real opportunity to slam the door. Let's see if they can do it. Marino throws it out. It's dropped by the tight end Johnson at the 28-yard line. Aaron's there on the coverage, number 58. They had the tight end out there with the linebacker one-on-one.
Seeing so often, Jay, as the game progresses, the Dolphins throwing on first down passing, and it's been successful for them.
Bill Whitaker is now in the ball game for the Cardinals in the secondary, number 42. He was activated this week. He's been on injured reserve. Well, Bob, you were talking about headlines for Marino if they could protect him here today, and that has been certainly one of the keys. Second down and 10 as Marino's had a big day. He hands it off out of the shotgun to Carter, and Carter gets to the 25-yard line. Al Bubba Baker made the tackle, number 60. The Jets have gotten a 7-yard pass from Ryan to Schuler, and it's 28-21 New England. At the start of today, Miami 4-0. The Jets, New England, Indianapolis, and Buffalo. Miami very much in the driver's seat and leading here 33-21. Third down and 2 at the 25. Marino has time. He throws, and they get the first down at the 18-yard line. Jimmy Cephalo. Cephalo's first catch of the day. Bill Kay, number 22, making the tackle for the Cardinals.
This was 3rd and 2. This pass is designed to get that yardage. Cephalo is here. The tight end goes straight down. Cephalo is just going to come inside and then break back to the outside. Just get the first down yardage, and we'll take it and make a first down. He breaks to the inside and then back out. Man-to-man coverage is very tough on that pass pattern.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line. Clayton goes in motion. The handoff to Bennett. Bennett bangs inside the 15 down to about the 12. Lee Nelson, 38, making the tackle along with 73, Mark Duda.
Take a look at Mark Duper and see what he does when the ball's not in the air. Trying to block a little bit. All you want him to do, Jay, is get in the way. You know, just get in the way of the defensive back. Try and hold him up and don't get rolled over on in a pile.
Duper going to the left side. Clayton to the right. 2nd and 4 at the 14. Not much for Tony Nathan. Al Bubba Baker made the play. If the Cardinals are to have a shot, they've got to hold them to no more than 3 here, I would think.
They certainly do. There's Bubba Baker, the man that we felt going into this game would be a key factor. He playing against Cleveland Green, who was subbing for Eric Laxo. And I think the offensive line for the Dolphins and Cleveland Green has done a very good job of stymieing the pass rush for the Cardinals.
Marino, 22 of 35, 3 touchdowns, 415 yards. The Miami record was 408. This is caught at the 9-yard line. It is a catch. Jimmy Cephalo again. Boy, Cephalo did a good job there of keeping his composure, concentrating on that football.
He sure did. As we look at Don Shula, here's Cephalo. He's going to run the same pattern. He's going to break to the inside and then back out. Again, just designed to get the first down. Inside release, sees who's covering him, and then breaks back out. Watch this catch. Just routine.
A field goal attempt from 27 yards out for Von Schamann. That would give Miami a 15-point lead. Von Schamann has it. So now it would take 2 touchdowns and a field goal for the Cardinals to win it. There was 7:38 to play in the fourth quarter. 36-21 Miami.
The great cars of Europe priced out of reach. Until now, Renault bridges the gap between European technology and affordability. Renault Alliance with comfort for 5. And now introducing Alliance Convertible. Renault Alliance, fuel injected, fuel efficient. European technology from Renault, Europe's leading car maker. 6161, built in America and affordable. Renault.
Who has vibrant greens, brilliant blues, the crispest reds, an incredibly lifelike sound? Only RCA. Introducing Full Spectrum Television, the only full stereo TV to process 100% of the audio-video signal. All the color, all the sound, all the time. Bringing the magic of life right into your living room. Full stereo, full spectrum television, only from RCA. Technology that excites the senses.
They are the prodigies of racing's true champions. The sons and daughters of Northern Dancer, of Seattle Slew, of Alydar. This fall, the bloodline will be tested and new champions will be born. The Breeders' Cup, November 10th on NBC.
Well, safe to say there's never been a racing card or a sports telecast like that one. Coming up November 10th, here on NBC, the Breeders' Cup from Hollywood Park. Steve Bird and Willard Harrell back to receive the kickoff. It's Bird 1 yard deep. He's at the 10, the 15, at the 20. Gets out to the 25-yard line, and the Cardinals will start from there. Making the tackle, Eddie Hill, number 31, along with 54, Rodell Thomas. Lomax, 18 out of 30. 256 yards and a touchdown. Not a bad day, but when you put it up against Marino's stats, it probably doesn't look very good.
He's having a good day, Jay. They've scored some points. They're, like we said earlier, they're 5th in the National Football League. But the thing he's got to tell his team now is, hey, listen, we need a touchdown, and we need it pretty quickly. So we're going to go our passing game first, maybe throw a little past the stump. We need to get in the end zone and quick.
7:29 to play. Lomax outside, dropped over there by Stump Mitchell at the 30-yard line. Indianapolis leading Buffalo. 31-yard run by McMillan. A 96-yard scoring drive, and every play on the ground. I wonder if Ferguson's in the lineup today for Buffalo.
He had a string of starts. I think was tops in the National Football League.
2nd down and 10 for St. Louis. The Cardinals go to Dallas next Sunday. The Dolphins play in Pittsburgh. Steelers in action tomorrow night. Lomax steps up, throws, and a fine catch at the 47 by Greg LaFleur, the tight end. 1st down, 22-yard play. And you see Lomax trying to encourage his troops to hang in here.
And that's what he has to do. They may be a little bit down, but the quarterback is the catalyst. He is the one that has to get them going. As we take a look, good protection, throws it right down the field in between the deep coverage and the linebackers.
We get word that Ferguson is not playing at Buffalo. Dufek got the call in that game today. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line for the Cardinals. Lomax going long. Green just couldn't get there. Just over the outstretched fingertips of Roy Green. Green, who played at Little Henderson State in Kentucky, number 4 draft pick, caught 78 passes for more than 1,200 yards last season.
Take a look at the end of this. This is just a takeoff straight down the field. Pretty good coverage. That ball would have to have been thrown very, very well for a completion. Give the credit to McNeil. Tight coverage right there.
Clock stopped with 6:37 to play.
Don McNeil coming back from an Achilles problem last year, set out the entire year, Jay. Coming back and playing very well.
Kansas City on a 9-yard pass by Blackledge, leading 10-6 now over Cleveland. Farrell and Mitchell in the backfield. Lomax to throw. Blitz. Lomax got it away. That's Earl Farrell. He's got a first down at the 42-yard line. Paul Langford, number 44, made the tackle. A pickup of 11 yards for the combination of Lomax and Farrell.
Take another look. I'm very impressed with Lomax. I met him yesterday. Steps up in the pocket, almost got sacked, but gets rid of the ball. But I was impressed with him, Jay, but I was also, he's so young. He came up and says, "Hey, Mr. Greasy, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, listen, kid, I'm not that old. I just started into playing this game a few years ago."
I saw some of those young Cardinal players getting autographs from you. Dallas now leads Chicago 23-14 in the fourth quarter. Lomax swings it out. Earl Farrell down to the 35, puts his head down and did some hitting, boy, in at the 34-yard line. Jay Brophy, the linebacker, 53, made the tackle. Farrell hanging tough here as the clock runs now to 5.5 minutes to play in this game. 36-21 Dolphins. Second down and 3.
Of course, what the Dolphins want to do now, Jay, is just make the Cardinals use up some time, even if they score. Make them use a lot of time, 10, 11 plays to score.
They'll give them those short passes.
Exactly.
And off to Mitchell. Mitchell breaking it down at the 20. Mitchell down to the 15-yard line. Charles Bowser, the linebacker, number 56, made the tackle, but Stump Mitchell romped over the right side for 18 yards.
Hey, I don't know what more we can say about this man. The two guards pull. Audick and Bostic, 71 and 61. Stump just reads it, breaks the tackle right here. Kozlowski, number 40, misses. Bowser, 56, gets over and hangs on and gets some help to bring him down.
A 105-yard day so far for Mitchell on 19 carries. I was talking to him this week about the game. He said, "I love it, I love it, I love it." Here's Tilley at the 5, Tilley at the 4. The first and goal to go for the Cardinals. Lyle Blackwood, number 42, made the stop. Well, Lomax going back to Tilley after he had fumbled.
Certainly did, Jay. Tilley is right here. He's going to come down and go across the field. Now watch all the confusion in the middle of the field as all the receivers are crossing and the defensive backs are crossing. Tilley comes underneath, and that's what you try to get, is confusion in the secondary by running those crossing routes down inside the 20-yard line.
Lomax now 22 of 36 for 308 yards. Lomax, over the outstretched fingertips of Steve Bird. They were blitzing. Lomax beat the blitz. You saw Bob Brudzinski there, number 59, and Lomax patting him on the helmet saying, thanks for not
That's exactly
killing
right.
me in there.
Now he's shaking his face mask. He was shaking his face mask, and that was a signal of, what are you saying? They're signaling the plays into him, and he was wondering maybe who you wanted to throw it to, or give me the play again. I don't understand it very clearly.
Second down, goal to go at the 4. That's Mitchell, touchdown. Stump Mitchell's second touchdown, his 5th of the season. And the Cardinals have 27. That's the most points that the Dolphins have allowed in 16 games.
67. Lewis Sharp gets a good block. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. There's Audick, 61, knocking everybody down into the end zone. Stump Mitchell, they're back in the ball game. 3 minutes to go.
Audick playing for Terry Steve at left guard. Neil O'Donohue. Activity at the line of scrimmage. So check and try and get some word on if there's any problem with Terry Steve. He is not in the ball game right now. Audick playing for him.
Audick has been in there most of the afternoon. Steve came into the game with a leg problem. He hurt it last week against New Orleans. Audick has been doing a good job.
Encroachment, number 71, decline.
Mike Charles, number 71, jumped off for Miami.
That's a whole lot of encroachment, too. Charles weighing 300 pounds.
Steve with that leg injury, we're told it's nothing that happened today, but just the fact that he couldn't go. O'Donoghue kicks it through. We have 3 minutes, 36 seconds left to play here. Miami 36, St. Louis 28.
Bronco 2 never made it. S10 Blazer 4x4 never made it. No four-wheeler ever made it until the new Jeep Cherokee became the first to win all 3 4x4 of the Year awards in 1984. And only Cherokee has an optional intercooled turbo diesel engine, a choice of 2 or 4 doors, and room for 5. Get triple award-winning Cherokee performance or the luxury of the new Wagoneer, only in a Jeep.
If you want to do work like an expert, it helps to have the mind of a craftsman. Sears Craftsman electronic power tools are so advanced, they practically think for themselves. Their microprocessor memories and electronic sensors give you more precision, more control, and the same quality that's made Craftsman bench power and hand tools America's best sellers.
There's more for your life at Sears.
The NFL plays here, Seattle.
It's a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game, and the Seahawks are looking for revenge.
The NFL plays here, Los Angeles.
Owner Al Davis says, just win, baby, and the Raiders get results. Pro football's winningest team.
The Seahawks battle the Raiders. The NFL plays here.
My team plays here.
Cardinals offense has been without Otis Anderson, who played at Miami. Great star there and a great star here, but they haven't lost much to the kind of day Stump Mitchell's had, over 100 yards.
As great as Anderson is, I don't see how he could have done any more than Mitchell. The thing it would have done is allowed Mitchell to go to their special teams.
A little too early for an onside kick. Aarons gets it downfield to Walker. Walker to the 22-yard line. And we'll go back to New York and get an update from NFL 84.
All right, Jay and Bob, I want to show you what just happened in Indianapolis. Mark Kofensis with the interception of the Joe Dufik pass. He returns it 59 yards for a touchdown. It is 31-17, and the Colts are starting to pull away from the 0-4 Buffalo Bills.
The Colts are very tough in that new building in Indianapolis. The Cardinals just did get out of there with a victory.
When they first moved into it, the crowd was doing the wave cheer when the Colts were on offense. That's a little backwards, but they learned very quickly, though.
First down for Miami. They'll try to run a little clock here. The handoff going to Woody Bennett. Bennett gets to the 28-yard line before Kurt Allerman makes the play. One of the Cardinals shaken up. Bill Kick. Well,
Whitaker.
That's Whitaker. Bill Whitaker. Whitaker just activated this week. Had an abdominal strain. Had been on injured reserve. Well, we'll take a timeout. Back with more in a moment as the Dolphins lead the Cardinals.
This Bud's for everyone who keeps things rolling on the mighty Mississippi.
Breakaway barge, please respond.
Let's get him.
We're right below here and we're all the way out.
I'll come around on the port side and bumper there.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
The great cars of Europe priced out of reach. Until now, Renault bridges the gap between European technology and affordability. Renault Alliance, the highly acclaimed, smooth, quiet ride, and sedan comfort for 5. Renault Alliance, fuel-injected, fuel-efficient. European technology from Renault, Europe's leading car maker. 6161, built in America and affordable.
The one to watch, the one to watch, the one to watch.
Renault.
Jay Randolph and Bob Greasy. 1977 here, you threw 6 touchdown passes, and that didn't even take you 3 periods, although Marino's had 3 today.
Well, that was a special situation, Jay. You know, a lot of times nothing goes right. That was one of the days that everything seemed to go right. You call the play, they're in the right coverage, you have the protection, and the man catches the football. But it was a special day, and that man right there asked me when I came out, he says, what do you think, you want to stay in? And I said, no, let Strock go ahead and do it.
Well, there's the total yardage in this game. And off to Bennett. Bennett up over the 35-yard line, gets the first down. And the Dolphins running some clock here. Lee Nelson, 38 on the tackle.
Jay, the left side of the Dolphin offensive line, John Giesler and Roy Foster doing an outstanding job on the last two plays. Right here. These men right here doing a great job, blocking straight ahead. Giesler, 79. They need that on this drive. They've been doing a good job all day. We said early on the key for the Dolphins was their offensive line play. They've been playing very well.
Giesler's had a bit of an elbow problem, but he's hung very tough. They're going to give it to Bennett again, and the big guy, Pyle, drives it up to the 40-yard line. And the 2-minute warning will be given to both benches right here. The Dolphins leading it 36-28. Now, here comes another one of those fantastic finishes.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1967, 15 degrees below zero in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers trail the Cowboys by 3. The field is a sheet of ice as Bart Starr keeps the ball and sneaks into the end zone for the score. Who made the block that sprung him? Right guard Jerry Kramer against massive Jethro Pugh. The Packers win 21-17 and claim the NFL championship.
Can you guess which beer or soft drink these guests are enjoying in unlabeled aluminum cans? Budweiser? Stroh's? Miller? Coors? Could they be drinking Coca-Cola? Pepsi-Cola? Dr. Pepper? 7-Up? Well, the answer is any of them. Because today, recyclable aluminum cans seem to be everywhere, and they're always in good taste.
AJ on the sideline.
Coming up, the Budweiser NFL report. St. Louis, of course, the home of Budweiser, and scores and highlights headed your way after this one's over. Whitaker's back into the football game. And the pass complete at midfield as Duper went high into the air and held on. And the timeout is called to stop the clock with 1:50 to play.
Jay, I find it interesting that the Dolphin team trying to run the clock out and keep possession of the ball is doing it through the air. The Don Shula team in the past would have done it with their running game. Now they're doing it with their passing game.
I'm reminded what John Riggins said after Miami upended Washington in the opener. He said these Miami Dolphins set up the pass with the pass.
Well, they're a little bit different than they used to be, and that man right there works with the talent that he has. He's got Marino, Duper, and Clayton, 3 big play people, and he is going with what he has. And of course, in the earlier days, he had the running game, and he went with that. And now he's throwing the football.
He once was an assistant coach at the University of Virginia when my spotter, Tom Redmond, played ball there. That's a few years ago. A.J. Dewey, of course, was activated this week. There's the man from Cajun country, played at LSU.
He had a problem with a knee surgery and a shoulder surgery. Just activated him this week, and he says he's anxious to get back in there.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line. Hardy going in motion to give to the big man, Bennett again, and he got maybe a yard at best before Aaron's 58 and E.J. Jr. 54 made the play. I want to thank our entire crew here in St. Louis for their help in the booth. To Andy Rosenberg and to his great camera people here this afternoon, and to our producer David Neal.
Is that him? No, that's not him.
No, that's not him. Thanks too to Dennis Mnuchin, who handled our stats today. Always a pleasure to have Dennis alongside. The Dolphins have a 36-28 lead. And it's been a big day for Marino and Duper and Clayton and all the gang.
Jay, it's really been a game that really hasn't gone too unlike what we talked about going into it. The offensive line has played well, which has allowed this man right here to have a big day. We said he was either going to be sack time or headlines, and certainly I think he was only sacked the one time, and he'll get the headlines. 408 yards, maybe more than that now passing, but the Cardinals have had a good day offensively also. They've scored more points against the Dolphins in the last, I think it's since the Dolphins' last 16 ball games. But defensively, the Cardinals were banged up. We mentioned that their 2 starting corners are not in the ball game, so they need to get some people healthy. They'll be there later on.
On 2nd down and 10, they stop Bennett again, and the Cardinals may spend their last time out right here. Let's pause briefly now for station identification. This is the NBC television network. With Bob Greasy, Jay Randolph, as we come to the close of this one. Doug Betters, big number 75, has been a fine player over the years.
Good game today. NFL Defensive Player of the Year last year.
1 minute remaining. They hand it off to Nathan out of the shotgun, and he breaks through and gets the first down, and that will end any possibility of the Cardinals getting the football back, barring something very bizarre.
He's been frustrated this year, Jay. The Dolphin offense not being able to establish a lot of run, and Tony has been in there a lot. This is going to help him. It's late in the game. They want to control the ball, but just to run the football and do it well, I think is important to Nathan and the offense at this time.
Cardinals, according to our figures, have a timeout left, but they're not calling it. They're just going to let it go. Peyton today has had 155 yards for Chicago, needing 67 now to break Jim Brown's record. Miami's never lost to St. Louis, and that record will stay intact. Don Shula, personally, will be 7-0 against the Cardinals. That goes back to his days with the Colts and also through the Miami years. So the Dolphins are undefeated, and they win it the final 36-28. The Dolphins had a 26-14 advantage at halftime. Cardinals got 14 in the second half to the Dolphins 10. And the two coaches, and there's Lomax. Well, Bob, this was a good one today and a very fine win for this Miami club.
Well, I think the Dolphins are happy about their offense. St. Louis is too. I don't think any team is happy with their defense, but they can go back and rework it and come back to play another day.
All right, coming up, we've got the Budweiser NFL report, scores and highlights coming up for you right after these messages from your local station.
A promotion